Satan's horror. Satan's horror. Now, this is a very unusual type of message, and it's a very spiritual message for sure. And this is not for everybody, it's truly not. It's not for Christians and all that funny stuff. But I mean, you Christian people, certain individuals, yeah, you can tune into this as well, yeah. But it's not necessarily for you, certain individuals, and all that stuff, and all these other religions and all that stuff. But anyhow, yeah, Satan's horror. This stuff is a very real matter. And even as I'm getting into this, this stuff is truly not a game. It's not. Honestly, it really is a horror. As it sounds. And Satan's horror is very real matter. And I'm gonna tell you a little bit about this as I'm being led by the Spirit concerning these matters of Satan's horror, because yeah, man, I mean, this must be discussed, because like I said, these Christians and all these funny, individuals and beings, like, these people just don't be getting into the stuff. And what you gotta understand is that yeah, of course they will be judged too for certain things, and all that false hope stuff too. Yeah, God is really gonna judge these certain individuals as they keep going on and on with that, is what I'm trying to say. That false hope stuff is seriously not a game when it comes to God's judgment. And I've never been into that, and I will never partake in that stuff. But anyhow, yeah, Satan's horror. Honestly, this stuff is real, man. And yeah, I mean, Satan's horror is like dealing with, like, man, a lot of his, like, I want to say his followers, like his elite followers too, that are like, spiritual, if I'm being real. And these people are like horror real characters and just very high ranked in his kingdom. And these people, like I said, they don't really have to, like, how can I explain it? They don't have to do much, like, on a obvious level, if I'm being real. But these people do have snares from Satan that they carry out concerning certain matters and just rituals and certain stuff that these characters, I would say, they partake in concerning against God's people. And that's why I said this is not for a lot of individuals, because many people will not believe in these matters. But once again, this is a very unusual message. But anyhow, yeah, yeah, Satan's horror. This stuff is deep, and like these characters that he has, and these individuals and beings that he has, these are like elite followers too, who, more or less, they don't have to do so much concerning the surface of things. But see, the thing is, they're doing a lot in the spirit. That's what you gotta understand. And they're coming against you, you certain people who are hearing this. And if you're a part of this matter, then man, I mean, you're done. You're done. You will be so according to God's will concerning you, no matter if you're a part of the dark side of this stuff or not. But anyhow, yeah, Satan's horror, it consists of his elite followers, and these people carry out certain assignments for him, and they will be coming up against you and your anointing, you certain people who are anointed in God and stuff. And you certain, you Christian people too, you're not exempt from this either, if I'm being real, because he's going to use his horror characters to come up against you too. But see, the thing is about you Christian people, you guys more or less don't even believe in this matter. And then on top of that, you're not, you guys are just not spiritual. So, this is not necessarily for you, but you can tune into this as well. It could enlighten you for sure, and all that stuff. And more or less, I mean, you Christian people, man, you guys are just so gone behind religion and all this stuff. And I just, man, only God can deal with these matters. But anyhow, yeah, I mean, Satan's horror characters. Yeah, these people operate in some serious darkness, and a lot of you people may be acting like, have I experienced this stuff? I mean, Yeah, I truly have. And see, that's the thing about this. Yeah, I have. But I'm not really getting into that matter concerning this so much, concerning me about this. This is more so just about Satan's horror characters and individuals and beings. Yeah, these people have power though. And see, these people are just like these are people that on the surface they don't look as so much of a threat, but in the spirit they are very much a threat, and they're very much aware of you too. You certain people who are truly chosen by God and being real. And see, their whole duty is to come against you in the best way they can. Excuse me. And yeah, they will be doing different things in the spirit, and they will be very familiar with certain things that you have done in the spirit for God too. But this is not for everybody. That's what I'm saying. But anyhow, yeah, these horror characters in Satan's horror it really is a horror, because see, the thing is, like, you know, you don't like a lot of you certain individuals and certain people who I would just want to say are ordained to go through this type of thing on a spiritual level. Yeah, I mean, you really do need God concerning this stuff. That's what I'm telling you, because otherwise, a lot of stuff will be stripped from you, from these people, these certain individuals who are part of Satan's horror. And they will be taking your gifts. They will be taking different attributes of your anointing, as I may have mentioned many, many times. And these people also will be praying stuff against you to harm you, and for the rear future type of thing, for certain things to be coming up on you and placing curses on you and all this stuff. All this deep stuff is real. See, many of you people don't even believe in like curses and all this stuff. Like, see, that's the thing about you certain individuals. But anyhow, yeah, they will be, speaking of that, yeah, they will be placing curses on you for certain things to come up on you and all this stuff. And then you see, you people don't believe in this stuff, but then you wonder why, like, you're going through certain things and the aftermath of things, and all this stuff. But I'm just truly chosen by God to just get into these matters, concerning this, humbly speaking. But anyhow, yeah, Satan's horror. Yeah, they have many participants, and there's certain people, individuals and beings that are part of this stuff. What I'm saying, Satan's horror, and it's more or less considering his kingdom. Yeah, his kingdom, and these people in it, and they're all in on it too. Is what I'm saying. These certain individuals, and they team up secretly, and they truly pray against you. If you're chosen by God, this refers to you more or less. And you Christian people, I mean, they pray against you, certain people too, but they're not as bothered by you guys. It's like that, if I'm being real, because, you guys are not spiritual once again, so, they're not as bothered by you guys and you other religions. I'm gonna just keep it real and I'm gonna just be transparent concerning this. But anyhow, yeah, these people team up, and they do come against you, and these certain prayers will carry out later concerning you. If they are high ranked enough in the spirit and you are not under God and in God and all that stuff, yeah, this stuff will be playing out later, whether you believe this or not. And yeah, I mean, this stuff is not a game, because they place a lot of curses, and it's just a horror. It's more or less a horror. It's and what I mean by that is, like, it's a frightening thing, because like they have there's many like different characters in Satan's kingdom is what I'm getting into. Yeah. And these certain individuals, like, they just play a certain role, and then there's characters behind them in the realm of the spirit, is what I'm saying, that will be coming up against you, as well as these certain individuals too. And yeah, this stuff is truly not a game, because this stuff is very spiritual. And, I mean, like I said, I'm already knowing these things, but like I said, everybody will not believe in this matter and all this stuff. And, I have nothing to do with that stuff. I'm just being led by the spirit. But anyhow, yeah, Satan's horror is no joke because not everybody can get through Satan's horror, you know. No, everybody can't. That's what I'm trying to tell you, you know. Many people give in to temptations too, as I'm being led by the Spirit and all this stuff. And they don't even realize that this stuff is really taking place, is what I'm saying too. And yeah, I mean, it's really, I want to say, a nightmare concerning these things, because these curses will play out on certain individuals who are just not in God, and these certain individuals who just don't really have a relationship with God and all that deep stuff. Yeah, you know, not anointed by God, all that stuff plays a role in this stuff of whether or not these curses and the stuff that they're praying against you plays out or not. Yeah. But this stuff will have an effect on normal civilians regardless, you know. But they pray this stuff mainly on certain people who are truly like chosen by God and all this deep stuff, you know, and people who are part of God's kingdom and all this stuff. And then certain innocent people too, who just are genuine, you know, they pray this stuff too, you know, because they want this stuff to play out more or less later too. So what you got to realize about this stuff. But yeah, with all that being said, Satan's horror, you know, there's many characters in this, you know, and many characters. And, you know, not everybody makes it out of, I want to say, this realm too of Satan's horror, you know, because there's many characters, demonic characters, more or less, as I'm being led by the Spirit, and they will come up against you know, and certain things will take place, you know, if you are not in God. I'll just leave it at that. You know, and more or less what I'm saying is in God's kingdom and, you know, all those deep matters. But with all that being said, yeah, Satan's horror is no joke. And, you know, you do need God to make it through these realms concerning this stuff. But this stuff is not for everybody. So with all that being said, I'm out.